Hi everyone, and welcome to I Love Pluto and its Nodes. I'm Linda Jonson, and can you see the slides, anybody? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dawn. Okay, Pluto core correlations. Pluto symbolizes the soul, the evolutionary process, metamorphosis, dual desires, critical evolutionary time frames, dynamics that are creating a situation of non-growth and stagnation, life situations and events of very intense change, resistance to the evolutionary impulse, or cooperation with the evolutionary current. Pluto and Capricorn transit 2008 to 2024 induces introspection and reflection on prior choices, allows us to take responsibility for what we have created, brings metamorphosis to the structural reality at every level, transforms the conditioning patterns of the past, creates shocking cataclysms due to past choices, removes structures that have crystallized or frozen. And allows us to create a whole new reality through the cardinal energies. Quote by evolutionary astrologer Rose Marcus: collectively and individually, Pluto's transit through Capricorn compels us to learn a new way of creating our everyday realities. That which can no longer support the evolutionary requirements will be dismantled and discarded. That which can house and support the evolving form will gain in scope and momentum. The transit is a testing time for the durability of existing structures, programs, and ideologies. Included is humankind's relationship to the manifested creation, to the physical realms of the earth itself and the cosmos. The fundamental root of the chart. In evolutionary astrology, we begin an analysis by looking at the fundamental root, made up of Pluto, Pluto's nodes, Pluto's nodal rulers, aspects to other planets, and the nodes of the other planets. The natural law of the past, present, and future. The natural law of evolution for everything is represented individually and collectively by Pluto's movement through the zodiac. The totality of Pluto's past, how humanity has evolved to date, is defined by its south node, which has been carried through to the current moment in time. The south node of Pluto in Capricorn correlates to what defined the past and how and why it has come to the current time. The north node of Pluto in Cancer serves as a vehicle for the evolutionary future to manifest. The south node of Pluto in Capricorn represents the collective memories of specific past lives and past life dynamics between the transition from the matriarchy to the patriarchy, which all souls on earth are drawing upon in their current lives. The natal Pluto integrates the dynamic tension between the past and the future, while the north node of Pluto is the vehicle for the evolutionary future to manifest. Quote by Jeffrey Wolf Green: Pluto is the underlying natural law of evolution for all things, including humans. Transiting nodes of Pluto. Now let's dig a little deeper into the meaning of the nodes of Pluto. Pluto's nodes take 24,000 years to go through the whole zodiac, the length of one astrological age. From this, the astrological ages can be used to track the spiritual journey of the collective of souls over great lengths of time and analyze the individual and collective desire to evolve. The nodes of Pluto have been in Capricorn and Cancer for 1,500 years, with another 500 years to go in these signs. Every person on the planet has the south node of Pluto in Capricorn and the north node of Pluto in Cancer. By examining the fundamental root of the nodes of Pluto, we will discover why we are looking at the distortion of reality now. What happened in the past? How are we seeking to change it? How are we realigning with our true self-image? And the reasons why that reflect the ongoing evolutionary requirements. The astrological ages. The correlation of the nodes of Pluto and Capricorn and Cancer is based on the astrological ages and their sub-ages. The 1,000-year transition from the matriarchy to the patriarchy took place at the end of the Capricorn sub-age of the age of Cancer. All souls on earth at this time resonate with that transition. And so here we have a little table of the astrological ages, beginning with Leo, which was the Atlantis and the Great Thor, Cancer, Great Mother and agriculture, and everyone on the planet resonating with the Capricorn sub-age now, the transition from matriarchy to patriarchy, suppression, distortion, violation of natural laws, and gender assignment issues. Then we move to the age of Gemini, which was writing, trade, and movement. The age of Taurus, earth, agriculture, money, civilization. Aries, Ram and the sky gods. And the age of Pisces, which we're at the end of, fish and Christianity. One astrological age is 2,160 years. One complete cycle of the equinoxes around the ecliptic is about 25,800 years, the great year. Planetary nodes for everyone. Here we have a table of all the planets and their south nodes and north nodes. These will remain in these signs for quite a while. You can get more information from Bradley Narrigan, who's done a lot of research into this. So basically, the planetary nodes are not always exactly opposite each other. And there you can come back later and read this little bit if you wish. That explains the reason why. And I thought it would be interesting to include that when natal planets conjunct the planetary nodes, it means that the nature of those astrological ages and their sub-ages have been directly experienced by the soul and are conditioning the soul's consciousness in the current life. Hotspots on the geodetic world map. While astrocartography is based on an individual's birth time, relocated to a new location, geodetic equivalents are fixed reference points in terms of past lives in EA that help us to understand the general local environments, social conditions, and cultures of those localities, and they can be used in real time as well. So geodetic equivalence was developed in the 1930s by Edward Jondro, an astrologer, mathematician, physicist, and radio engineer. He was a brilliant original thinker, ahead of his time, who discovered new concepts that traditional astrologers rejected. So the hotspots on the geodetic world map, in reference to the cardinal grand cross, Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. We have the most intense hotspot is this one here, USA and South America, and of course the east coast of USA. Then part of the cardinal cross is Libra, which is USA and Alaska. Libra is extreme, so you can see that that relates to an area of the world that is very extreme. Then we have part of the Grand Cross is Aries, Sweden, Europe, and Africa. And another part of the hotspots is Russia, Mongolia, China, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Discovery of Pluto. Pluto was discovered by American astronomer Clyde Tombaugh in 1930. At that time, Pluto was at 18 degrees Cancer retrograde, ruled by Moon in Scorpio. Over here, there's the Moon. South node of Pluto at 20 degrees Capricorn. ruled by Saturn in Capricorn, and the north node of Pluto at 18 degrees Cancer, ruled by the moon in Scorpio. Note the repeating themes. The flyby of Pluto. 85 years later. It's interesting to note that 85 years is the length of the Uranus cycle. Uranus is in Aries in both charts. As the first never-before-seen image of Pluto was beamed back to Earth, Pluto was at 14 degrees Capricorn, ruled by Saturn in Scorpio. The south node of Pluto at 20 degrees Capricorn, ruled by Saturn in Scorpio. And the north node of Pluto at 20 degrees Cancer, ruled by the moon in Cancer. Note the repeating themes once again. The repeating themes. In both charts, we notice the repeating trilogy of Scorpio and Pluto, soul, metamorphosis, Capricorn and Saturn, structure of consciousness, reality, Cancer and the moon, self-image and security. We can know by these symbols that the soul and the collective of souls is changing both its current reality, Saturn, and its egocentric structure, Cancer, in this lifetime to reflect the soul's ongoing evolutionary requirements. This is the fundamental root signature of any chart. Okay, looking more deeply into the archetypes of Capricorn and Cancer. Capricorn correlations, core sense of guilt, high standard of inner judgment, fundamental fear of losing control, need to be recognized by society, problems with traditional gender role assignment, repression, suppression, distortion, depression, futility, and reflection. Cancer correlations. Well, before we go on to the Cancer correlations, just coming back to the Capricorn, in revisiting the past, we will reflect upon all the dynamics that went wrong. How do we change the current reality so that history does not repeat itself? How do we create an undistorted future in alignment with natural laws? And now for the Cancer correlations. Cancer correlates to the current self-image of the soul, our inner home, how we are living within ourselves on a moment-to-moment basis, the ability to nurture, how the soul develops its egocentric emotional security, animus dynamic within the soul, or inner male and female, the ability to integrate both genders within ourselves, problems with consensus-defined gender role assignment, early childhood environment, displaced emotions due to lack of nurturing, mother, family, clan, ancestors. Quote by evolutionary astrologer Gray Crawford: "The self-determination of Capricorn is healthier and capable of creating greater stability when coming from a place of inner emotional security, rather than wielding power or control as compensation for emotional issues." Now we come to transiting Pluto opposite the north node of Pluto in Cancer. Transiting Pluto will oppose its own north node in Cancer on 23 March 2017, ruled by the moon in Aquarius. The exact hit is just 4 months away. The Plutonian spotlight will be on conditioning patterns that have reached an extreme imbalance and the need to throw them off. This will enable a powerful forward momentum through reaching a balanced state of giving and receiving, developing emotional security from within, integrating the natural masculine and feminine within ourselves and meeting others halfway. We will become aware of our social identity and obligations to the collective as we experience a powerful forward thrust into the social sphere. Pluto's ruler will be Saturn at 28 degrees Sagittarius, over here, conjunct the galactic center, bringing an intense maturation process that will focus on nature and the natural world. 28 degrees Sagittarius correlates to daemon souls, those who are utterly unified with nature, especially animals and plants, and who are helping humanity return to a state of balance within natural laws. We will very clearly see, once again, how the present patriarchal orientation has led to the environmental devastation of the planet and its many species. This transit will present us with a challenge to move beyond the past, Saturn, beyond the patriarchal orientation of distorted beliefs, especially those of invented religions and their rights and wrongs, and to discard distorted beliefs and delusions so that a natural alignment with natural laws can be restored. The evolutionary requirement to reach out to others will stretch the yin energies and induce insecurity. This may cause the soul to retreat back to the unconsciousness of the past. Yet the evolutionary momentum will challenge or force new dynamics to be born. It will be necessary to take responsibility for what we have created in the past, to become mature, to become emotionally self-secure, and to evolve the self-image to reflect our true role as nurturers and preservers of the planet. Now we come to transiting Pluto conjunct the south node of Pluto in Capricorn on 23 October 2018. The conjunction is one of the most intense aspects in astrology. The ruler in this chart will be Saturn at 4 degrees Capricorn, and that happens to be exactly conjunct my Venus, which I find very interesting. Note also that Pluto will conjunct the south node of Saturn over here. A triple dose of Capricorn energies will bring awareness of being stuck in dynamics from the past that we wish to move away from. The process of becoming unstuck from the past can mean a reliving of past life patriarchal conditions so that they can be resolved in a new way via the north node of Pluto and Cancer, through rebirth, caring, sharing, protecting, and nurturing. Via the south node of Pluto and Capricorn, we are revisiting the time of the patriarchal takeover in order to eliminate the artificial structures, false beliefs, memories, conditionings, and distorted behavior patterns of the past. Since every person on the planet since 500 AD has the south node of Pluto in Capricorn and the north node of Pluto in Cancer, this allows us to understand how evolution is an extremely slow process from life to life, and how each soul has a very long past and is shaped by that past. The quest of every soul. The return of the goddess will not only signal a new self-image of emotional security from within for each soul, but will have the potential to bring balance and healing to our relationships. As the patriarchy loses its potency and death grip, in its wake is a slow return to the Divine Mother, to the female yin creating principle that brings caring, sharing, and nurturing to self, others, and to Mother Earth, thus restoring our planetary family. Changing our self-image means moving away from extreme masculine energy. However, we don't want to create an egocentric feminine either, but rather move toward an emerging consciousness that is world-centric in orientation in order to bring transcendence and balance. This correlates to the nodes of Pluto advancing into Leo and Aquarius in 500 years' time, during the age of Aquarius. True nature of compassion. Our collective group of souls is learning how to live in absolute balance with natural laws and nature. We are returning to matriarchal principles by realigning with the true self-image of what it means to live in harmony with the earth, our home and spiritual mother. From a solid foundation, Capricorn, of self-empowerment, self-authority, and self-discipline, we will actualize enhanced management of the ego, Cancer, that will bring inner security and a new self-image. All creation emanates from the feminine, the womb, and as each soul slowly feminizes, will give birth to its true nature of compassion and devotional love. My moon in Cancer in the 9th house is exactly conjunct the north node of Pluto, and in this life, it is an honor to be a woman. So everyone, here's the chart for transiting Pluto opposite the north node of Pluto in Cancer. Just 4 months away, but we're really feeling it now, and I think it really has started to happen. So let's discuss this. If anyone has any comments, please go ahead, just unmute yourself.
That was wonderful, just to start. That was amazing, Linda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you. I wish I could have all of you on the screen and see the chart at the same time, but I think that's impossible with Zoom, so thanks for that. Okay, so going back to this chart, 23 March 2017, Pluto will be at 19 degrees Capricorn, so it's really starting to move forward. That will be ruled by Saturn at 27 degrees Sagittarius, conjunct the galactic center, a focus on the natural world and daemon souls. And the north node of Pluto, the opposition, will be at 19 degrees Cancer, ruled by the moon in Aquarius. So any comments, anything at all that you can see in this chart, anything at all that you'd like to talk about? Does it aspect anything in your own chart?
Well, Linda, Wendy, I was thinking, so the north node of Pluto would be ruled by the moon there in
Yes.
Aquarius. So, you know, I was thinking about what you said about Saturn and Damien souls and animals and nature. And I mean, the earth seems to be in so much peril right now. And here in the US, now the plan, I mean, it doesn't look really good for our parks here and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, I'm holding out for the best. So I'm thinking of Pluto and Capricorn as still the remaining patriarchy, right? That's still holding on so tightly, the death grip, as you said.
Yeah.
And the north node of Pluto symbolized by the moon in Aquarius. So if we looked at this as an event chart, right?
Yes.
I mean, the moon could be, you know, women rebelling, the feminine rebelling to
Yes.
the patriarchy, correct?
Absolutely. The radical rebellion. Absolutely. And yeah, carry on, Wendy.
Well, just that the moon there is sextiling the sun and Venus. And I was thinking, I wonder what other asteroids are there next to the moon to help support the moon.
Yeah, I just didn't want to clutter up the chart too much.
No, that's just my mind, you know. Also, the moon there is squaring Mars, so
Mm-hmm. Okay.
rape, violence, I don't know.
bear in mind, when you said Pluto and Capricorn, that was the death grip of the patriarchy. Well, not really. Pluto
Okay.
is the transformative force. So although Capricorn, that's when the suppression and the violation of natural laws began in the sub-age of Capricorn and the age of Cancer, so many thousands of years ago. I don't think Pluto and Capricorn represents the patriarchy. Pluto represents the destroyer. It's the destroyer
Right.
of the patriarchy. So it's here to transform.
This
Okay.
chart is hugely dynamic, hugely dynamic. It's balanced on both sides just for one off that north node. But look at that Jupiter opposing. It's a T-square, Pluto, Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus right there.
Yeah.
It's a hugely dynamic chart, lots of action.
Yeah. A lot of groups are going to be coming forward.
Thanks for that, Dawn. That's incredible. Yes, that's a T-square. That's just in 4 months' time. I mean, that's just going to come so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other comments?
I think it's already happening myself. I mean, I see people are angry, people are scared. I have never had so many people tell me that they were terrified within a 24-hour period of in my life. But I then since then, I mean, if Facebook is any indication, I see a lot of people kind of stepping back and saying, but we can't just freeze. We can't just be angry. We have to put into action where we best can do it. And I think that this chart kind of speaks to that people are going to be organizing and demonstrating and, you know, coming up and rebelling, like Wendy said.
Wow. You know,
Yeah. Thanks, Sue. That's great.
did I cut you off, Sue?
No.
I was just thinking what you were saying was I was looking further at the chart. So Saturn's in the first, rising Sag, right? So that's powerful in a sense. And the South Node is in the 4th house.
Well, I wouldn't take notice of the houses. I'm not sure where I drew this chart up for. Can't remember now, but let's not take too much notice of those houses. It's more the aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, but with Saturn on the galactic center there, I was watching a program last night. I think it was called Food Choices on Netflix, and it it was talking about how many animals are slaughtered each and every day, and how actually eating meat that is what causes cancer and heart disease, and that diets based on plant-based foods, they're very healthy, and that's what we should be doing. And I have chickens, and I really want to give away most of my chickens and go on a completely almost a vegan, but I think I will have the occasional egg, but I also learned we don't need that much protein either, and I just learned a lot of things from this show. I mean, I do have a strong interest in health, but I'm really feeling it. It's like now is the time to do something. So an opposition, it's time to enter the social sphere, and it's cardinal energies, of course, and it's very action orientated. It's a time when we can actually do something on a collective level with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, Wei. Go
Hey,
on.
listen to what you said. I just wondered, because the North Node of Pluto is in Cancer, then this chart, the moon is in Aquarius. So are we, like, each individual are going to more in tune with their own truth? And, because the Aquarius is more like a soul's original blueprint. So in this way, maybe we can go more aligned with the natural law. The Saturn in Sag rules the Pluto.
Yes.
Change the reality of the society we're living in.
Yes, absolutely. The chart is very helpful.
Yeah.
the exact moment of the opposition. And so, yes, it's very helpful to have the moon in Aquarius. And that is a moment-to-moment signature. It's like revolution, you know, moment to moment. It's unrelenting. And it's working with that North Node of Pluto in Cancer to actually change us from within, to actually change the structure of the soul by changing the self-image of ourselves, first of all.
Yeah.
And Saturn also refers to structure. So you can see the repeating themes. Now, this is going deep into our souls, changing us from the inside out.
Well, and then also Mercury is conjunct Uranus, you know, square that Pluto. It's, you know, bringing the square, you know, back into play. And
I'm wondering if we're going to have a big financial shock, especially with that Jupiter being square Pluto, and Saturn right around that the galactic center, because it seems like, if I remember correctly, that's when we had the big financial shock in 2008, was when Pluto was around that same degree where Saturn's going to be.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Yeah, no, I think Pluto was in Capricorn at that time. It just entered.
But I mean, the early parts of the early.
Yeah. Wanda, I'm agreeing with you. Absolutely. That's the same area where Saturn is in this chart. Absolutely. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
And I noticed the Mercury conjunct Uranus opposite Jupiter. Do we see Jupiter as the media? Maybe, you know, the Mercury conjunct Uranus, people would going through this crisis and learn to how think independently to to do the fact check, because like this election, a lot of part of it is the media, right? People are false informed, can tell lies and truth.
That's a very good point. And of course, we're wanting to speak the truth. We're wanting to align with natural laws, wanting to align with all that is natural. And so with those intellectual planets all in the same aspect together, it's going to be a wonderful time, I think, really, to speak the truth and to get that clarity. Yeah. And to take action.
Saturn will be trining that North Node too. Like, it's already moving. It's already there, right?
So what's that, Wendy?
Yes, it
Saturn,
is.
the North Node
Which North Node?
on the chart.
Saturn trining the North Node of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Beautiful.
That's where I was lost.
Well,
Everything touches to
There's so many nodes.
yeah, like we shouldn't see Saturn and Capricorn as culprits. You know, these are archetypes that are still very much part of the whole astrological, you know, zodiac, and the energies that can be used in a positive way, in an undistorted way. You know, we can draw upon the natural talent of Capricorn, the discipline, the organization. We're still going to need these things.
Always.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Saturn is the point, is the initiation point of liberation to get to Uranus. So, yeah, Saturn is definitely necessary.
Yeah. And it's trining Uranus in this chart, which is beautiful. They work together really well. And we can see Chiron, the bridge, at 25 degrees Pisces, conjunct the Sun. And the Sun is conjunct Venus.
Yeah, a lot of stuff with a lot of themes for women here, I feel like.
I thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win because of that. And instead it seems to be like the repressed woman has to speak up.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, look, the moon in Aquarius, women forming groups or women in groups. There's going to be the Million Women March or something in January in DC. And And then the moon is sextiling all that Aries.
Yeah. I think women are key because all of these symbols are feminine. Pluto is feminine, Saturn, the moon, Cancer, Capricorn, they're all feminine. So the feminine is rising up. Yes, Dawn?
Look at the closing sextile of the moon to the sun too. That and the sun conjunct Venus. These two are pretty key to what we're seeing here as well.
Wow. Yeah, and the sun's on the world point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opposite the supergalactic center, which we've learnt about, and it's very powerful chart.
And the Jupiter is squaring Pluto. I wonder, because this religion about a man god has been on Earth for so long, is this going to change? Point to the Pluto's polarity point, like the religion wise.
Definitely. With Jupiter in Libra, it's an extreme, hasn't it? And something's got to give and something's got to change, and and of course these are cardinal signs we're talking about. So it's the initiation of change.
So Linda, would you speak a little bit about the world point?
Don't know very much about it. I mean, I learnt about it from Dawn.
Okay, Dawn.
Thank you. It wasn't me.
Okay.
It's 0 Aries, right?
It's
yes.
opposite.
Yes.
It's opposite that to Libra. So I think that's what we're looking at, but that's all I know about it.
It's
I think go ahead, Linda.
No, go ahead, Wendy.
I was just going to say, I think that 0 Aries point astrologers that are looking for predictions, like it shows where the power in the world is in that chart. Like, or if they were trying to predict Hillary, does she have any planets there at 0 Aries? And what house is it in? Is it hidden? Stuff like that.
And yes, 0 Aries is the world point. I wasn't cognizant of the 3 Aries, sorry.
On the geodetic world map, the 0 degrees Aries is in Europe. I'm not sure exactly that degree, but we could actually look it up. So that would be interesting to have a look at. So everyone, thank you so much. We're just about at the end of this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
And be strong, and we'll see you soon.
Beautiful, Linda, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.